வெல்கம் பேக் டு தி எம்ஆர் அகாடமி. இது மாணவர்களுக்கான தளம் மட்டுமல்லாமல் வேலை தேடுபவர்களுக்கான தளமாகவும் மாற்றமடைந்துள்ளது. உங்களுடன் நான் G.Sakthikumar, M.Sc B.Ed, Computer Science, PG Assistant in a private school. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about the 12th Standard Computer Application Subject, Chapter 8. The title is PHP Forms and Files. Now we get inside the video. This is the chapter 8 or the 12th computer application. Title is Forms and Files. First of all, in this lesson we need to understand the importance of HTML form in web application and to know the file handling technique in PHP and to know the basics of web-based file management system. Here HTML forms. First of all, what is forms? Forms. The objective of PHP and HTML form controls are to collect the data from the user. In the web development, user access website or web pages from remote client and feed the data to the server. If we are trying to create a Facebook account, right? Just example, Facebook account we need to create and we are trying to that. And each and every information, that means your name, first name, last name, and email ID, user ID, password, and date of birth, first school, some other personal informations are, all the informations are given in the website. Fields are there, various fields are there, text box and buttons and check boxes, like so we are given. After given that things, last we are going to be click on the submit button or OK button. On the time the data what we are given on the website, all the data are collectively sent to the server. Using form, this form will collect all the data from the client, right, and then send it to the server. Here the in screen see that Microsoft 2.0. Here they are mentioning a table. First one is name text box, Pisha shopping, radio button, Pisha shows, tomato, that means drop down list box, and optional etc. That means checkbox, delivery instruction, it's a text area control, send my order, it's a submit button. So each and every one of the field is a different form controls in HTML and PHP also. And inside the form we can create all these controls or components. Then only that will be action, or otherwise those are have nothing, right? And thing. Okay. Then basic HTML form controls. What are the form controls are there? Already I said in the table in example, text inputs, it's a for name they are created, radio box, buttons, file select, checkbox, form tag. Form tag is a first one. After that, inside of that, these tags are given. So text box and text area controls are like same, but in text box we can give some of the content, very limited. We can give the length also, but more contents you need to be insert on the field, means we can use text area. If we need to give the name, means we can use text box. If we need to give address, means we can use text area, because of text area have some more length. Buttons may contain submit button, reset button and cancel button, checkbox. These are the things are there. Button is common. We can use it for OK or cancel or reset, like submit, anything. Right? And in checkbox and radio box, something is related. But the difference is, in checkbox we can choose more than one. From the example, see the optional extras, we can select extra cheese and gluten-free base also we can select. But pizza sauce, that means our pizza topping, we can select any one of the list, supreme or vegetarian or Hawaiian, right? So any one of the thing is from those three. So radio button, from the group we can select any one of that, but checkbox we can choose more than one from the group, right? And then basic form handling. We are using form, we can create inside of that form controls. From the form tag under the action attribute, we have some attribute. PHP file which is mentioned. We have action attribute. In the action attribute, we need to give the file name where the action will be performed to that position, that area will be mentioned. That means file name also mentioned. And method, next one. We have two methods are there. Method is one of the property, right, or attribute. In PHP, we have two methods is there, post and get, right? For using this method, what should be kept means, all the contents are added, entered on the web page, then those information, those data that will be collectively goes to the server using any one of this method. Send the data to the server using post or get. Both are collects and prepares the response accordingly. And what is the thing? Difference. Input data sent to the server with the post method is stored in the request body of the client's HTTP request. HTTP request, that information are stored. But get method, input data sent to the server, post method via URL address known as query string. All input data are visible by the user after the clicking submit button. Using post method, the data that sent to the server, those data is not visible to the user using post method. It's secured one. But using get method, all the information, all the data will be converted to as query string. All the data are going to be displayed on the address bar with the URL using get method. Here they are given example test.html program, and inside the body we are creating form. First we need to create form and the name. Just the name text will be displayed, and that form controls. How can we create inside the form control? Each and every one of the control will be mentioned as the input tag. And how to differentiate each and every tag means, we can use the type attributes, mention what form control we are going to be create using type attribute. Name means we are giving that name, any one of the name for the control. If we do some process, we are doing some coding creation, we can use this name for that particular field. Text means, that means first name is named as name. The email box is named as email. Like those two are text box, and input type submit. That means OK button is going to be submit. And welcome.php, that's the first one is designing page. The content will be designed. Welcome.php here. Welcome, the information is there on welcome.php, and php echo underscore post. Echo means print statement, post means method, which is comes from the name option from the test.html, that will be displayed welcome, that name. We are given Shakti as in text field means welcome Shakti. Like that information is goes. Email, what email we are enters on the text box, your email address is like that, then the email will be displayed. Right? See this output screen. What input we are given, those are that data will be comes to the output screen. And then using, already I said, using get method means collects all the data and prepares the response accordingly, and post method is also there. The process is going to be do on the welcome.php file. The data are goes to the welcome.php from test.html or php, and the information goes as a query string. Those information are displayed on the URL using get method. Post method means, using post method means all the information are hide and posted with the HTTP protocol, and it will be secure. Like then next is basic PHP form validation. And validation means if we are enter some data into the field, particular text box means we are enter some text. Suppose the text box is ask name, that means text will be we can provide on that field. But if we are trying to write the phone number means it's a mismatch. On that case we need to have some validation. If we are enter the data is in right form, check, and right format, and you are enter the data or not, those all the information going to be checked with the help of validation. So validation available in PHP, they are as follows. Two methods are there. One is client side validation, another one is server side validation. Using JavaScript, we can validate the data in the client side also. When we are enter the data before send to the server, we can check inside the client also using JavaScript. Or otherwise submission, after the submission of data, validation are performed on the server side also using some of the programming is like PHP, ASP or JSP. ASP means active server page and JSP means Java servlet page. And these are they have some facilities to validate. And what are the validation is there? Name means text input must contain letters. Suppose we are giving create email option, that is also text input, but the validation method contain at and dot. And the website means it should be complete URL. And radio button means we must select minimum of one value. Checkbox means must be checkable minimum one value. And drop down menu means must be selectable minimum one value. These are the various things. And the client side validation, they are given like this: form action welcome.php, like, and the username They are mentioned username input type equal to text and name equal to name and required. That is called validation. If suppose we are skipped, we are not give any value to the name username field means see this window, that means 8.3, that should be mentioned, please fill this in this field, because of it's a required, you compulsory add the data in this field, right? And this is PHP files, that means file handling in PHP. It's very important activity of all web application development process. On that, we have a following list of functions for dealing with the files. First of all, we need to open a file and we need to read a file. We can. These are the possibility to the process of in files. And read a file, close a file, we can write a file, appending a file. Appending means add some more contents to the existing contents, and uploading a file. These are the various file activities. First of all, file open. That means PHP open a file. For this purpose, we can use fopen function. F means files, file, and open is a function name. Fopen is a system function available in PHP. A default function, built-in functions like that. It contains two parameters, one for the file and the other one specifies which the mode file should be opened. The first parameter, you can see the syntax of the fopen. File object is a variable. They are mentioning $. So it's a variable. That means it's a general form. We can create using the variable, and equal to f of open. Here we are trying to open the file. File name. What file we are going to open here? That name should be given here, and the mode of the file. What should be what the process we are going to do with the file? That will be converted as a mode. That means we can read the file, write the file. This is the two modes. So that should be mentioned here. Or suppose we are trying to open a file. If that file is not opened or that file is not exists, that means give the error message using die function. That means stop the execution. That's purpose we are using die function. Here the example starts with PHP. My file is a variable name equal to fopen of student.txt. txt, that means text file. WordPad file like student is a file name, .txt is the extension name, comma R, that means should be the read mode. If we are given W means write mode. Then in this file, using this file, we can read the contents in this student.txt. For that purpose, we are create this statement. If suppose not open the file means unable to open file, that message will be given to the die function, right? And then PHP read a file. Next one, fread is a function name for to read the file, right? The syntax is given here. Fread of file object, that means file name, file size of the file, and file name. Yeah, we need to give that. And here they are given example. Fread is the function name. My file is, suppose we are opened the file already. we need to do any activities inside the file, we must open the file. In the previous example, in file open, my file is a variable is stored the opened file name, right? That's why here we are using my file, right? My file means here the file is opened. File size of txt, student.txt. We can find the file size of the txt. Find the file size of the student.txt. Right? We can find the size of the file. And then after doing all the activities of the file using file, we can close the file using fclose. Just fclose syntax and file object. That means open the file name, my file, right? Here the example, my file equal to that information also they are given in this example. My file equal to fopen student.txt. Then here fclose file name, right? My file have student.txt already. And then PHP write. Fwrite function is used for that purpose. Fwrite, and what is the file we are going to use, that thing is stored on my file, and what information we are going to write, that information have on the variable txt, right? That should be added to the file. And we need to remember the things are form attribute action backend script ready to process your parsed data. If you are send the action to the backend means database, that will be ready for the processing the parsed data. And the method already I said, upload the data, the most frequently used get and post methods. Any kind of the two are the comfortable. We can use it anyone. And target is one of the attribute to load the page, right? It should be used in a link tag. What are the targets? Are there blank, empty, self. Same page should be replaced with the new content, and parent, new one. You can use n-type attribute to specify how the processor encodes data before it sends to the server. It should be in starting stage. We need to give the n-type in a header section. N-type, encryption type. What kind of going to be encryption going to be do? What kind of information, what type the information goes from client to server. That's the thing we need to mention here. HTML already I said, hypertext markup language, form validation, protect form from hackers and spammers for the purpose we are using. File handling, it's an important part. Whenever needs we have to use. And the file upload, right? File upload means we can uploading photograph or text files and other things. We can send, attach and send. For the purpose of attachment, we can use file upload option, right?
And this is the end of this video from MR Academy. Next chapter will be given to the next video. If you are searching the job, means please send your resume to my registered email in description. And please subscribe my channel. If you have any doubt, means comment on the comment box. Nandri Vanakkam.